The Minecraft mini-series' Third Life and Last Life were two of the most iconic Minecraft mini SMPs to occur during 2021. Featuring well-known YouTubers like Grian, Scar, Smager, and Mumbo, Third Life and Last Life had a lot of iconic moments. To briefly explain what they are, Third Life was a Minecraft mini-series started by Grian, where every member had 3 lives and could kill other people when they reached their last. Third Life Season 2, also known as Last Life, was the second iteration of the series, which included new members, a new random number of lives assigning mechanic, and a boogeyman. Both series were equally as chaotic, but now they're over. Or at least that's what we think. At the end of Mumbo's Last Life finale, he said something that raised my eyebrows.
This series has been an absolute blast. I've really enjoyed it. And, I look forward to the next season.
The next season? Season 3? Furthermore, when Grian released his finale, he stated that the series could continue if people really want it to, so yeah. It's not confirmed, though the bare concept of it has been thought of. So if Last Life will indeed continue, I'm gonna discuss my ideas on what would happen, from when it will happen, what new faces would introduce, and how would the mechanics work overall. Let's start off with the data analysis. To get an idea of when Season 3 of Third Life, Last Life, whatever will start, we need to take a look back at when the previous 2 seasons happened. Third Life started on April 20th of 2021 and ended on June 8th of 2021, lasting a little over 1.5 months, whereas Last Life started on September 21st and ended on November 16th, lasting approximately 2 months. This means that Last Life started almost 4 months after the end of Third Life. Now, if this rate is consistent, then that means the next season would start around March, but I don't think that's exactly the case for 2 main reasons. You see, most of the Last Lifers are actually on the more popular SMP Hermitcraft, which has ended its 8th season not so long ago. At the beginning of the year, Exuma stated that he would be going easier on content for the month of January, which would then give all the members a little break from Hermitcraft. This led to a number of new series and types of content for the Hermits, such as survival let's plays, create mod showcases, 100-hour hardcore, or just regular hardcore. However, not long ago, one of the most well-known builders on Hermitcraft, Good Times with Scar, had gotten an infection due to the equipment from his chronic medical condition. Scar had to stay in the hospital for a while, but fortunately he's now out, though he still needs a little more time to recover. The Hermits, being as sweet as they are, decided to hold off Hermitcraft Season 9 until Scar is back to 100%. Now, very recently, Exuma uploaded an animation video about his next skin, and at the end he actually teased the supposed date, February 19th, 2022. But according to one of X's streams and the Hermitcraft Reddit, this may have been a mistake? I don't know, we'll see. Now, by this time this video comes out, it probably is that day, or before, or after, honestly, I can't tell. But if this video does come out when Season 9 starts, well then, hello there future people. So how does this relate to Last Life, you may ask? Well, Hermitcraft is a hugely maintained server, and the start of each season takes up a lot of the Hermit's time. So I don't think it would be possible if the Last Lifers who are also on Hermitcraft started 2 series very close to each other. The same goes for a lot of the other members on Last Life. Some of the ones who are not on Hermitcraft are on another big SMP called Empires. Just like Hermitcraft, the Empires SMP also ended very recently, but they teased the planning of a Season 2. This gives them a similar reason as to the Hermits for why they probably won't have time to start the next season of Last Life. So if Season 3 can't happen in March, I think that it would be much more likely to occur during either April or May, which is around a year from the start of Third Life. Now that we have analyzed a possible date for when Last Life Season 3 could start, let's talk about how it would work. Last Life itself had many different mechanics than Third Life, to the point where they even had to change the name. Unlike Third Life, for Last Life, each player was assigned a random number of lives from 2 to 6 instead of starting at 3. There was also the boogeymen, who were people that needed to get a kill before the end of every session. The next season would most likely have different mechanics from the previous 2 as well, to spice things up, which even Grian stated. So how will it work? The first concept I have is random life gifting. I think that the old mechanic of randomly assigning lives would probably stay that way, but what if the server randomly assigned a life every session? My concept for this is that for each session, the server could gift one life to a random player, or even take one away. This could raise the bar for randomness and luck, so say if a player gets like a real rough time last session, they may be lucky and randomly receive another life the next. Or it could be the other way around, where a super powerful person could be unfortunate and randomly lose a life the next session. My next concept for Season 3 is life stealing. My concept for life stealing is very similar to that of the lifesteal SMP, which is another hardcore chaos SMP similar to Last Life. Basically, my idea is that when a player kills another player, they would gain a life, basically transferring it from the victim. Now, this may make it a bit too similar to lifesteal, but in lifesteal, what's transferred is the amount of hearts instead of lives. This could give more motive to chaos and death for the players of Last Life, and it would definitely be pretty fun to see the betrayals that could come out of this as well. Another idea I have is life perks. Basically, maybe for each stage of life for a person, say it's their second life or third life or blah blah blah, they would get a boosting perk as long as they are on that life. For example, maybe a speed boost or a strength boost or something more creative. So say if a player is on their first life, they might be able to jump higher, whereas another player who is on their second life could regenerate health faster. I'd say this would give a lot more uniqueness to the season compared to the previous ones. So how about the Boogeyman? The Boogeyman was one of the big factors that made Last Life stand out from Third Life, and it was a pretty successful and interesting mechanic. I'd say the chances for the Boogeyman concept to return are pretty likely, but maybe with a bit different mechanics. Maybe they could have the Boogeyman curse act more like a game of tag, where someone with the curse will pass it on if they cure themselves of it by killing someone else. This would be pretty interesting, as it would be much more feared to get killed by a Boogeyman than by a Red Life. If you guys have any other concepts, I'd love to hear them, because the more ideas we brew, the better. Alright, we've analyzed the possible date for Season 3, as well as a series of concepts, but what about new members? Last Life introduced 3 new members who were Mumbo Jumbo, Pearlescent Moon, and LD Shadow Lady, only one of which I predicted correctly from one of my previous videos, sadly. I think it would be likely if they would introduce some new members again for the next season. Though it may make things a little more messy, I think they'd be able to handle it. Here are 5 proposals for new members that I think have a chance of being invited to Last Life in Season 3, based off their relations with the current Last Lifers, how they fit in with their skills or content, and their personalities. Like Hermitcraft and other SMPs, Last Life seems to invite their members instead of getting requests. I also want to clarify that I'm not asking for these people to be invited, I'm just simply theorizing on who might be invited. Alright, first up on the list we have Dream. Wait, no, that's not right. Hell no. First, we have Fwip. Ah, there we go. Fwip was a Minecraft YouTuber who I theorized would be invited in Season 2, though I was wrong. But I still think Fwip has a high chance of joining, because to me, it would look like he'd fit in really well. Fwip is a well-known builder and host of the Empires SMP, and he's great friends with many of the Last Lifers, especially the ones on Empires. I think his playstyle would fit pretty well, and he seems to know how to deal with chaos. Furthermore, Fwip also has an ongoing hardcore series, which would definitely get him familiarized with Last Life. Next up, we have Gemini Tay. Gemini Tay is also a well-known Minecraft builder, and she recently joined Hermitcraft in Season 8. She's great friends with the current Last Lifers because Gem is both on Hermitcraft and the Empires SMP, just like Pearl. Speaking of Pearl, if Gem were to join, it would be cool to see her and Pearl teaming up for this season. Just like Fwip, her playstyle seems like it would fit, and she also knows how to deal with chaos. Gem also has a hardcore Skyblock 1-block series, but this could also pose a problem because including this series, Gem also has Hermitcraft, Empires, and a 1.18 survival let's play, but she seems very professional and organized at handling them all at once, so I wouldn't be surprised if she knows how to handle Last Life into the mix. The next candidate on this list is the mythical Sausage. Just like many of the others on this list, Sausage is a great builder and is on Empires like Fwip and Gem. He knows the current Last Lifers pretty well. His playstyle fits as well, as just like Fwip, he has a hardcore let's play. Sausage seems to be able to spark chaos sometimes, which can be seen by other series like Empires. Then we have False Symmetry, who is another hermit on Hermitcraft. False is a pretty well-known hermit as she's been on the server since Season 2. She has some experience with PvP, as she also regularly takes part in MCC. Her content and personality would fit in pretty well, and it would be interesting to see her maybe team up with Cleo if she were to join. Furthermore, Last Life would be an interesting spin of content for Fall since she hasn't really posted anything but Hermitcraft for a long time. Last up, we have Doc M77. Doc M77 is who I'm most excited for if he were to be invited, but he also seems like the least likely here. Just like some of the others, Doc is also a hermit and he's very experienced with the more technical side of Minecraft, specifically breaking the game. He and Etho go way back, and he's also pretty great friends with a few of the others like Herendog. Doc's personality would fit in perfectly with Last Life. He's a menace and would do anything to get what he wants. If Doc joins, he'd seem like the perfect counter to Etho. Or they might end up working together, who knows. He's also very great with storylines, which is why him and Ren paired up make one of the best Minecraft cinematic duos. Though, the reason why I think he's also the least likely is because his content may not perfectly fit the vibe of Last Life. He doesn't seem to interact much with the other Last Lifers besides the ones on Hermitcraft, but his personality would still definitely bring a whole new level of chaos. Each of these Minecraft content creators would be great additions to Last Life, but not all of them would be able to join, of course. I had many other considerations such as CPK or even Iskal, who I theorized about last time, but he seems to have a lot going on right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have the time to be part of it. Or even other people who would also fit in but don't really upload frequently, such as Netty Plays or Tortoise. I am so excited for if Grian and the other Last Lifers do actually make another season, because I just loved Third Life and Last Life. Do you guys agree with any of these concepts for the mechanics or who would join? Or do you disagree? Feel free to let me know what you think. Also, feel free to comment what your concepts are for the next season, as well as who you think will join. I would love to see all your concepts and ideas, and we could all work together to think of something great. And you never know, maybe they might take this video for inspiration. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.